Welcome to another of our interviews in our Elevate series. I've got today with me Callie Willoughby-Ward and Sammy Connell. Sammy's on our ABCO executive and is a mentee with Elevate, and Callie is her mentor. Callie, do you want to just sort of introduce yourself, because the ABCO community won't necessarily know who you are?
Hello, ABCO community. I feel like I know you through Sammy and us having conversations, but just a quick hello to say I've been in marketing for 20 plus years now, and I've climbed the corporate ladder. I've got to very senior positions, but my passion always lies in talent, nurturing talent, curating teams, and just advocating for great people. So I had a bit of a life change in 2019, and then resurrected my Chatty Penguin business last year and decided to continue the mentoring that I have been doing for many years, and just focusing really on that, because that's what brought the most reward and enjoyment.
Fantastic, thank you. Well, you've certainly got a talented person to mentee, haven't you?
Very, absolutely. I'm such a big fan. She's incredible, and I feel like I'm more of a cheerleader than a mentor, and it's been a symbiotic relationship. We've learned a lot from each other, and Elevate's matchmaking has been magical, I think, in this situation. It really has put two people together, and what has come out of it has been very special, and I hope will be for a long term coming forward as well. Fantastic.
Sammy, do you want to just quickly introduce yourself, and then we'll go back to that whole matchmaking thing and how the sort of the system works, but just introduce yourself, just in case anybody doesn't know who you are. They've had their head under a stone for the last few years.
Thank you. Yes, hi everybody, I'm Sammy Connell, Conference and Events Manager for NSWT, the Teachers Union. I'm on the executive board for ABCO, and I've been a mentee for the Elevate programme.
Fantastic, thank you. So Sammy, you know, I think people would be quite shocked that you're a mentee rather than a mentor, because we all know you, and we sort of see you as a confident and progressive person who's out there at the head of a game. What made you decide to be a mentee?
Thank you for that, firstly. I think we all have those imposter syndrome. And I think we all have that no matter where we are and what we're doing. And for a very long time, I've sort of hidden that and kept it very well hidden. But there are moments where, you know, you don't believe that you can do certain things or go certain places or have a, you know, seat at a table somewhere. So I really wanted to spend this year focusing on my own development. And that was sort of my goal in January, to sort of sit down and think about what I can do for my own sort of professional and personal development. And that's where I saw the Elevate programme and thought, this sounds like it could be something for me. And it absolutely has been.
Fantastic. And Callie, for you, why Elevate?
I was recommended Elevate when I mentioned on a networking call to a new connection how much I enjoy giving back, and also how I had struggled with imposter syndrome. Everyone thinks I'm a really confident public speaker, yet I have crippling nerves and all of these things. And I thought, I really want to find a network of people where I can be a mentor. And someone recommended Elevate. I got in at the 11th hour, emailed the team and said, look, can I help? I don't really know what your application process is, but here I am volunteering to help. And I was really lucky. They reached out and said, absolutely, we'd love to have you on board. And the rest is what you see now, and the progress has been incredible.
Fantastic. And how did they match you? Because it seems like the chemistry has definitely worked. What did they do to match you up?
So in the process, mentees have to do a rather short sort of video about themselves, and I think I must have done about 5 retakes of it, and in the end I just thought, I've got to submit what I've got to submit. And you have to sort of talk about why you want to be on the programme and what you want to get out of it, but it's literally cuts you off, so you can only talk for so long. So you do an application and you do a little video and you send it off, and then they spend such an incredible amount of time, and they have such like unique skills in matching. Like when I met Callie, within the first 10 minutes, I was like, this is going to be super special. And I was a bit nervous to begin with because I've been mentors before for lots of programs, and I really wanted someone that could really enhance my career and how I felt about the industry and how I feel about myself. But yeah, I think their matching process is so special, and they spend such an amount of time and effort going through and really matching up personalities with what they want to get out of the program, with sort of how people are aligned. And I've been really impressed, and I've heard that a lot from other mentees, that their matching process is second to none.
Fantastic. So you had certain objectives that you wanted to try to achieve. How will you know if you've achieved those? What will be your sort of success measures as such?
So we had some really clear objectives, didn't we, Callie, when we set out? Callie was very good at keeping you focused, because you have so many distractions, and she was very good at saying, okay, we've got 6 months. What do you want to do? What do you want to achieve? And public speaking was a major one for me. It's something that it's not natural for me to do. It's something that I don't particularly enjoy doing at the beginning, but at the end absolutely love it. So public speaking was one thing that we really wanted to focus on, and Callie has just been transformational. Like so many tools and techniques that I have now that I never had before, and sort of being able to relate to nerves and how that makes you feel and how that makes you perform has been incredible. But also about my sort of online presence and what that looks like, and sort of giving me a bit of an MOT on that has been really great. And then the third thing that we really focused on, I manage a team and work in an organisation, spend a lot of time with internal and external stakeholders, and Callie's been transformational in sort of helping me navigate some of those difficult conversations and those sort of difficult situations. So they're sort of the three areas that we've really aimed to sort of achieve, and already we've seen, I think I've done 5 public speaking sessions, which I wouldn't normally do.
Fantastic.
Really great, and Callie spent a lot of time sort of watching the videos afterwards and giving me really positive sort of critique on them. So yes, and we've been able to have different conversations, and I felt prepared and at ease with those, and hopefully my online profile is a little bit stronger than it was at the start of the year.
I just don't know how you have time to do it all, because they're such thoughtful pieces that you write, and you know they really show you, I think, and I'm in awe about how you have the time to actually commit to it and do it. But well done, it's definitely shining through. As far as commitment for time for both of you, because obviously there will be some ABCO folk who want to be mentees, some who want to be mentors potentially, what sort of commitment does it take as far as the actual one-on-one time, but also the prep and the thought behind it as well?
I think you can vary. Sammy and I are probably incredibly similar people, that we like to plan and come to something having put in a lot of work and diligence to get the most out of it. However, that's not necessarily right for everybody, and some people don't put that kind of prep time in. I would say probably before, our mentor sessions are around an hour, Sammy, sometimes a little bit longer depending what we're going through, but I would say I probably prep for about an hour during the week before, or if Sammy wants to WhatsApp me a video, I'll put together some notes just to make sure that we get the most out of the session. But I do know a lot of people that the 1 hour is the hour that they give, and that's absolutely fine. It really depends, I think, on the individual and how you approach anything like this yourself. I don't think there's a right or wrong. Sammy, I'll let you speak to yourself, but having worked with her, I'd say she's the person that goes the extra mile and wants to invest a lot of time to make sure that what she gets out of it is great, but also that she respects the other person's time. And I find that just an incredible trait, to be honest, and it makes me want to do more for her in return. So it's probably us inspiring each other. I don't know, Sammy, if you want to add to that.
No, absolutely. I think it's just what you put in is what you get out. And I've been really clear that I want to invest in my own personal and professional development. So I've really tried to commit time. But we all know how busy we are, and we all have events. And sometimes I've had to move meeting sessions around mentoring sessions because we've had other commitments, but we've always committed to them to taking place. And yeah, I think it is what you put in is what you get out, and I'm really glad that I've spent the time and invested. But it's been really manageable, and it's been really enjoyable because it's been about a topic that I know really well, which is myself. So it's been great, and it's been like amazing to learn from Callie. And every time I've come with her with, I've got this situation coming up, how would you approach that, and what would you do? And I've known that there's been the sort of really safe space to have those conversations and be quite vulnerable and say, I'm really uncomfortable with this. That's where I've been.
Fantastic. And Callie, do you think you've developed from being a mentor?
I mean, who couldn't develop having Sammy? I was told by the Elevate team that she submitted one of their favourite videos, and her charisma just came through and she made everyone smile. I was so excited to meet her, and boy, every session has just been fantastic. I have learned how rewarding mentoring is on another level. I thought I enjoyed it before, but I've just got this incredible mentee here who is a bundle of potential. She's such a brilliant talent. She's a hardworking superstar, mum of two, and I just think she knows no bounds. And all it was unlocking the realization that maybe she was putting blockers in that weren't there, because she has so much potential. So as much as she has given me a lot of credit, the credit truly lies with what was within her already. And allowing herself to be vulnerable was really special to me, because not everybody feels that it's a safe space, and sometimes you don't get that authenticity and honesty. So for me, learning that someone can be so incredibly honest was just very special to me. I think this is the most special mentee relationship I've ever had, and that's testament to Sammy, not testament to me.
So would you carry on? Would you do it another time, having had the best experience? You would carry on and do it again? You'd be a mentor again?
Love it. Yeah, I want to continue it. And having worked with Sammy on the public speaking has inspired me maybe to do an accessible course for other people when I don't have the time to speak to them or reach them. Sammy, I hope you continue to invest in yourself, because it is one of the most valuable things anyone can ever do. I might even look for a mentor at some point again. I've had mentors before, and I don't think you ever have enough experience to stop learning. I think you can always learn and invest in yourself.
Yeah, it's that whole journey word, isn't it? But everybody's on one, and it's sort of facilitating that. And Sammy, you've obviously really enjoyed the experience. Would you consider being a mentor in the future?
Absolutely, and I think you're right, I sort of normally typically fall into that place, and I've been a mentor on other programs, but I would absolutely consider being a mentor again. I think Elevate give you loads of support as well. There's really great, they've got their own sort of website, their own sort of platform with loads of different podcasts and videos, and they have events that they host, and you can get as involved or as little as you want. And I've really found that invaluable. They have like templates and do's and don'ts, and sort of and they're really great for sort of really supporting those that are unfamiliar with mentoring, but also great to kind of refresh. So yes, this is how I'm going to get the best out of the program. So I think Elevate has got a really special program, and I would advocate anyone to consider in the events industry to have a look at it. I think their applications open in November. I thought the new cohort, I think it's season 8, starts in February. So anyone that is in the industry that's thinking maybe the time for investment is now, to have a look at that.
Fantastic. And are there any final learning points from either of you that you would sort of suggest to people, or have there been any pitfalls? I mean, it's all been very positive what you've fed back. Are there any pitfalls or learning points for others looking at it?
I think Sammy and I came at it with a really flexible attitude. We didn't just say we've got 6 1-hour blocks and we're not going to speak to each other outside of that. So it was really important to me that Sammy felt she could message me at any time, email. If something arose, we could work through it at the time rather than having to keep it to those sessions. And I know other people probably do stick to those, and I would say there could have been pitfalls had the gap between each one been too long, but probably because we mitigated against that, we avoided the pitfalls. And I'd also say the one thing that I think, and Sammy really touched on it earlier with the matching process, Elevate is so incredibly human. It's like the I'm in marketing and I understand the brilliance of AI, but in this one, the human touch and the thoughtfulness that goes into it, and the passion and the emotion and the care, everything is incredibly human. And obviously that allows for some human pitfalls, but what it does mean is that it's really special between two people, and what you get out of it is really good. So everything they put together, all of the support, nothing is mass produced. It's all bespoke and really thoughtfully put together. So I would say that the human touch to this is part of the magic. And then you've got two humans who just want to do the best for each other and for themselves. And what could possibly go wrong with that? I think, you know, we weren't going to have a pitfall because the matching was brilliant. And then you've got two people with exactly the same ambition, sense of humour and passion. So we probably managed to avoid any pitfalls, I'd say, Sammy, unless there's one I'm not aware of.
No, absolutely. I think for me, there was this Elevate gave you a real sort of no pressure environment. They were sort of said, we've done our best to match you. Now, if it doesn't work out after a couple of sessions, be honest. You know, if things are not going the way you want them to be, get in touch with us. And there was that kind of realization that you weren't sort of wedded to these 6 sessions and you had to do it. Actually, if it wasn't working out, that you could say, actually, this isn't quite for me, it's not where I need to be, or that sort of thing, or I'm not finding you. So I think having that was kind of reassuring at the early stages when I was going through the process, thinking, I hope this is going to be a really good investment of my time and energy and passion. But if it's not, and sometimes the stars aren't aligned, that's okay too. I think having that as reassurance. But I absolutely never had that thought once. As I said, 10 minutes in from meeting Callie, I was like, she just like enlightened my soul, and I was like, this is amazing, this person is like addictive, I need to talk to her and tell her all of my issues, because she'll help me with them, which you have. But you've been really great at sort of getting me to self-reflect and sort of have loads of self-reflection and sort of time to sort of think things over. And I think because the program's over 6 months, you have loads of opportunity to sort of sit down and think, okay, I'm 1 month in, I'm 2 months in, okay, I'm halfway now, what's the other half going to look like? But Callie and I are definitely going to stay in touch, and she can't get away from me now, so
Oh, brilliant. No, that's so lovely to hear, and thanks so much for explaining a bit about the process, but also I'm sure you will have motivated others to just sort of take the plunge and, you know, send in their videos at the beginning. I'm sure that's part of the scary process, actually, having to do a video at the beginning, but it is worth going through that hoop, isn't it? So that's brilliant. Thanks so much.